Welcome to Yoga with Rene. Today we're going to do some twisting and a flowing series. All you need is a little space and a little time. I'm going to take off my glasses. I'm going to scooch back away from the computer, and we'll all meet in a simple cross leg. Let's take our ankles underneath our knees. The more we can bring our knees into alignment with our hips rather than our knees lifting to our shoulders, our hips begin to relax. So trying to have the feet underneath the knees is our good target. Our shoulders will roll to our ears and down our back, and we'll close our eyes as we turn our palms to face the sky. As we inhale, we'll fill our chest with air. And as we exhale, we'll draw a breath down our spine and towards our belly. Inhaling, filling our chest with air. Exhaling, drawing breath down our spine and towards our belly. Inhaling, filling our chest with air. Exhaling, drawing breath down our spine and towards our belly. Inhaling fully and pausing. Inhaling a little more. Exhaling fully and pausing. Exhaling just a little more. Inhaling fully and pausing. Inhaling a little more. Exhaling fully and pausing. Exhaling just a little more. Begin to take breath at your own pace, using the staggered breath or the even breath, finding what helps you unlock any tension you feel. 2 more breath cycles. 1. With your next inhale, gently open your eyes and gaze forward, noticing which leg you've crossed in front. Bring your hands to prayer. Interlace that finger closest to your body. With an inhale, we'll draw our navel to our spine, extending our arms forward, lifting them up. And with an exhale, we'll release our shoulders down our back. Inhale, we'll slide our chin to the left. Exhale to center. With an inhale, we'll slide our chin to the right. Exhale to center. With an inhale, we'll gaze to our fingers. We'll slowly exhale, gaze forward, gently undoing the interlace, extending our arms out, finding the muscular resistance, pausing it parallel. And we can draw our right hand behind us, hook our left arm to the outside of our leg. Inhale, lengthening, creating space. Exhale, we'll turn our belly, our heart, and our gaze. Inhale, lengthening, we're in our twist. Exhale, using that left hand as a hinge, bringing out our belly, deepening our twist. With our next inhale, we'll uncoil. Let's return back to center. We'll slide our right hand away from our hip, aiming our fingers to the wall. We're going to go only as far as our glutes don't lift from the ground. With an inhale, our right arm is strong. With an exhale, our left hand stacks our shoulders and lengthens to the sky. Inhale, we lift up. With an exhale, the right elbow bends. We'll extend the left hand past your ear towards the side wall. Keeping our glutes fixed on the ground, we might wish to manipulate our right arm, extending it further or bring it closer to our body. Maybe even our forearm is on the ground. Let's look to our left hand. Inhale, we watch our left hand reach back. Exhale, we watch our hand come back to its original position. The strength of our right hand is the effort of our obliques. 2 more rotations, the size of our circle. Our shoulder indicates to us. If we feel a click, 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 we know we've gone too far. We'll pause with that left arm extending past our ear. Inhale, we'll bring our spine to upright, remembering which leg we crossed in front. We'll take a 3/4 extension of our legs. We'll take our hands back behind us, aiming our fingers forward. Inhale, we'll draw our navel to our spine, bend our elbows back. Exhale, spread effort between our 10 fingers. We'll find our way up into a tabletop, holding onto our shoe between our thighs, or maybe fully extending our legs. 3 more breaths wherever our body happens to be. 2, 1. With an exhale, our glutes lower, and we'll find a simple cross leg, restacking our spine. Shoulders rolling to our ears and down our back. And we'll bring our palms to connect with the other finger interlaced closest to our body. Inhale, we draw our navel to our spine, extending our arms forward, lifting them up. Exhale, releasing our shoulders down our back. With an inhale, we'll slide our chin to the left, like we're backing out of our parking spot. Exhale to center. With an inhale, we'll slide our chin to the right. Exhale to center. With an inhale, we'll gaze to our fingers. We'll slowly exhale, gaze forward, gently undoing the interlace, extending our arms out, finding the muscular resistance, pausing it parallel. We draw our left hand behind us, hook our right arm to the outside of our leg. Inhale, lengthening, creating space. Exhale, turning our belly, our heart, and our gaze. Inhale, lengthening our twist. Exhale, using that right hand as a hinge, bringing out our belly, deepening our twist. With our next inhale, we'll uncoil, we'll return back to center. And we'll slide our left hand away from us, aiming our fingers to the other side wall. With an inhale, our left arm strongly presses into the ground. We stack our shoulders and reach to the sky. Inhale, we lift up, and with an exhale, the left elbow bends, our right hand extends past our ear, but we keep our glutes in contact with the ground. Manipulating our left arm to get the intensity we're looking for, we gaze to our right hand. Inhale, we'll watch our right arm reach back. Exhale, we'll pause with our arm extended past our ear, where we began. 3 more rotations, finding the range of motion that's best for us on the second side. Then we'll pause for that final rotation. Inhale, we'll bring ourselves to upright. We'll gently lift up our knees, we'll roll onto one hip or another, and we'll find our way to all fours. On all fours, we'll spread out our fingers like starfish, turning the inner aspects of our elbows towards one another. Let's gently lift up that right knee and circle that right knee in space, hovering it over the mat, moving both clockwise and counterclockwise. I'm turning my phone off, which I thought I had turned off before we began. Pausing, tucking the right leg behind our left. With an inhale, we'll lengthen through our heel, extend the crown of our head forward. And with an exhale, we'll gaze past our left shoulder to our right ankle. Inhale, filling our right lung with air, expanding our lung capacity, stretching our shirt. Exhale, a nourishing breath to our lower back. One more long inhalation. And an equally long exhale. Let's gently soften our right knee, step our right foot forward into a lunge, left hand under our shoulder, palm or fist. With an inhale, the right hand slides past our knee, past our shoulder to the sky, holding that imaginary beach ball between our left rib and our right thigh. Stacking all the joints in our arms, reaching to the sky, one more breath. With an inhale, we'll bring our arms parallel to our mat. And with an exhale, the right hand descends, the left arm lifts. We find strength from our waist down and flexibility from our waist up. 3 more breaths wherever we happen to be, imagining our thighs drawing to the midline. 2, 1. Inhale, back to center, palms connect. Exhale, elbows bend, thumbs descend, lengthening our triceps. Inhale, fingers high. Exhale, rest our hands under our shoulders, and we'll step back to all fours. Lifting up our left knee, we'll circle that left leg in space, moving both clockwise and counterclockwise. Then we'll pause. We'll tuck the left leg behind our right, keeping the right knee and hip in alignment. Inhale, we'll lengthen through our heel, extend the crown of our head forward. And with an exhale, we'll gaze past our right shoulder to our left ankle. Inhale, filling our left lung with air, expanding our lung capacity, stretching our shirt. Exhale, a nourishing breath to our lower back. One more nice long inhalation. And an equally long exhale. We'll soften our left knee and we'll step that left foot forward into our lunge. Right hand remains under our shoulder. Inhale, the left hand slides past our knee, past our shoulder to the sky. We hold the beach ball between our right rib and our thigh. Stacking the joints in our arms, lifting that left hand to the ceiling. One more breath. Inhale, our arms find the length of our mat. And with an exhale, the left hand descends, the right arm lifts. We find strength from our waist down and flexibility from our waist up. Our thighs drawing to the midline. 2 more breaths. 1. Inhale, back to center, palms connect. Exhale, elbows bend, thumbs descend, lengthening our triceps. Inhale, fingers high. Exhale, we'll allow our hands to rest under our shoulders, finding all fours. Inhale, rounding our back into our cat, curling our toes, and finding our first down dog high on our tippy toes. With an inhale, we'll bend one knee, lower the opposite heel. Exhale, vice versa. Pedaling out our feet. Stretch our calves and our Achilles with a conservative knee bend. We're taking a little bit more adventurous knee bend to get into our lower back. 2 more breath cycles wherever we are. 1 more. Inhaling high on our tippy toes. Exhale, simultaneously lowering our heels towards the mat. We'll draw our thighs to the wall behind us, lift our shoulders to our hips, turn our armpits towards our yogi mat neighbors as we gaze to our navel and Nadhyasana. Let's allow our head to be passive. We'll make our A frame a little smaller, beginning to walk our hands back to our feet, softening our knees as much as our hamstrings wish. When we arrive at the back of our mat, we'll take the knee bend we need to place our first 2 fingers and thumbs around our big toes. Inhale, our torso extends. Exhale, we'll bend our elbows wide, fold our heart to our thighs, lift our shoulders to our hips, and Nadhyasana. Bring our head, neck, and shoulders. We'll allow our head to be passive. Allowing gravity to help us find a little more space. Our eyes closed, we smile in the direction of our legs. Taking tension away from our jaw, our head, neck, and shoulders. Exhale, deep bend in our knees, hands to our hips, tailbone descends, spine stacks. We bring ourselves to upright. Inhale, lifting our arms high, palms connect. Exhale, elbows bend, thumbs descend, lengthening our triceps. Inhale, fingers high. Exhale, deep knee bend, protects our back as we hinge. Inhaling into our half lift. Exhale, bending our elbows, folding our heart to our thighs. We'll soften our knees, place our fingers by our toes, and we'll walk ourselves out into our plank. Carefully lower into our bellies, letting the fronts of our feet touch. Inhaling into our cobra, shoulders roll to our ears and down our back. Hands on the ground for flexibility, or hovering for strength. Gazing at the floor in front of us, holding a quarter between our shoulder blades for 2 more breaths. 1. Hands down at the throat. Let's curl our toes, press through heels in a chaturanga, and inhale into our downward facing dog. And from our down dog, let's walk footprint by footprint to the front of our mats. When we arrive at the front of our mats, we'll find our chair. Navel draws in, tailbone descends, hands extend 3/4 up the wall in front of us. Inhale, we fill our chest, hands to prayer at our heart, keeping our knees together. With an exhale, we'll hook our left arm to the outside of our leg with our knees together. Inhale, the crown of our head extends forward, and with an exhale, we press our hands into one another, stacking ribs, shoulders, elbows. Hands at prayer, fly, or a half bind, and anchor, drawing our tailbone to the ground, revolving our heart in the direction of our side wall. Trying to keep the right knee and hip in alignment for 2 more breaths. 1. With an exhale, we'll meet with our hands in prayer. We'll gaze to our feet. We'll take some weight off of our left leg. Inhale, let's stride back with our left leg, right knee over ankle. Inhale, the crown of our head extends, and with an exhale, we press our hands into one another, stacking ribs, shoulders, elbows. Left knee up or down. Hands at prayer, fly, or bind. Deciding what's best. 3 more breaths wherever we happen to be. 2. 1. With an exhale, we'll meet with our hands under our shoulders. We'll step back into our plank. We can rest in down dog or hover. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Curling our toes. Joining our friends in down dog. And in our down dog, we'll look to our hands. We'll soften our knees. We'll step forward to join our hands. Finding our chair once again, near our toes, drawing weight to our heels. Then we'll transfer weight to our toes, elevating our heels. Then we'll lower our heels, hands to prayer. Inhale, we fill our chest. Exhale, our right arm hooks to the outside of our left leg. Keeping our knees together, left hip and knee in alignment. Inhale, the crown of our head extends. And with an exhale, we press our hands into one another, stacking ribs, shoulders, elbows. Hands at prayer, fly or bind. Thoracic spine rotating in the direction of the wall. Anchor, drawing our sacrum to the ground. 3 more breaths. 2. One. Exhale, hands to prayer. We gaze to our feet, and we take weight off of our right. With an inhale, we stride back with our right leg, right knee up or down, yogi choice. Keeping left knee over ankle, inhale, we extend the crown of our head forward. With an exhale, we press our hands into one another, stacking ribs, shoulders, elbows. Hands up, prayer, fly or bind, yogi choice. Finding where our body would like to be today. 3 more breaths wherever the second side is taking us. 2, 1. With an exhale, we'll meet with our hands under our shoulders. We'll step back into our plank. We can rest in down dog or hover. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, curling our toes. Joining our friends in down dog. We can stay here with our big toes touching. Or lift our right leg high. Maybe come up onto the ball of our left foot. Perhaps bend our knees, stack our hip gives under our left armpit at our heel. Stillness stretches that right quad, circling the knee in space, unlocks our hip. Find where you'd like to be for 3 more breaths. 2, 1. Let's look to our hands. And we'll step our right foot forward into a lunge. Pivot the left at 45, heel to heel. Right palm or fist at our arch, stacking our arms and legs. Inhale, we'll slide our left hand past our shoulders to the sky. With an inhale, we'll bend our left elbow in the direction of our hip. With an exhale, that left hand will glide past our ears, so we're creating a long line from our left heel through our fingertips as we open up our right hip. 1 more breath. Inhale, we'll use our core strength. We'll find our way up to warrior 2, shoulder stack over hips. Exhaling into a reverse warrior without our bind. Stretching from right hip to shoulder, lengthening left hip to heel. 2 more breaths. 1. Inhaling into our warrior 2. Exhale, we'll cartwheel our hands down, step back into our plank. We can rest in down dog or hover. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, curling our toes. Joining our friends in down dog. In our down dog, we can stay here with our big toes touching. Or lift our left leg high. Maybe come up onto the ball of our right foot. Maybe bend our knees, stack our hip gaze under the right armpit at our heel. Stillness stretching the quad or circling the knee in space. You decide. 3 more breaths in our yogi choice. 2, 1. Let's look to our hands. And we'll step our left foot forward into our lunge, knee over ankle. Pivot the right up 45, heel to heel. Left palm or fist at our arch. Inhale, we stack our shoulders and reach to the sky. With an inhale, our right elbow aims to our ankle. With an exhale, the right hand passes by our ear, lengthening to the wall in front of us, creating a nice long line from our right heel through our fingertips, stretching as we open our left hip. 1 more breath. Inhale, we'll use our core strength, stack shoulders over hips. Exhaling into a reverse warrior without our bind. Stretching from left hip to shoulder, lengthening right hip to heel. Opening, unlocking that base of our spine with that external rotation of our hips. 1 more breath. Inhaling into our warrior 2. Exhale, we'll cartwheel our hands down, step back into our plank. We can rest in down dog or hover. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, curling our toes. Joining our friends in down dog. Let's aim our right heel for the wall behind us. Try to keep our thigh parallel. We'll walk our hands back till they rest under our shoulders. Keeping our right hand where it is. Let's place our left hand on our left hip. Inhale, we extend the crown of our head forward. We lengthen our right heel back. With an exhale, the right shoulder descends, the left shoulder lifts, our heart rotates to the side wall. Perhaps we extend our left arm as well, rotating through that thoracic spine, wringing out our belly. Think of our thighs muscularly drawn to one another. We're here for 3 more breaths. 2, 1. Exhale, deep bend in our knees, hands as a pyramid, crown of our head descends. Inhale, our right hip opens. Surrendering the crown of our head down, no strain in our neck. Stay here, inhaling. Or exhale, we can tuck and twist. Inhale, open. Exhale, we'll tuck. 1 more time. Inhale, exhale. We'll meet it open and we'll walk ourselves out into our plank. We can rest in down dog or hover. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, curling our toes. Joining our friends in down dog. Let's aim our left heel for the wall behind us. We'll begin to walk our hands back until they rest under our shoulders. And once we've arrived at that place where our hands are under our shoulders, we keep our left hand as it is. And we'll place our right hand on our right hip. Inhale, our left heel lengthens back, the crown of our head extends. Exhale, the left shoulder subtly lowers, the right shoulder will subtly lift. Maybe we high five the side wall, our thighs muscularly draw to the midline, as if we're standing on a tightrope, keeping our balance. 3 more breaths, wringing out our belly like a washcloth. 2, 1. Exhale, deep bend in our right knee, both hands under our shoulders, crown of our head descends. Inhale, left hip open, stay here. Or exhale, bend and tuck. Inhale, open. Exhale, bend and tuck. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, 1 more. Inhale. Exhale, we'll meet it open. And we'll walk ourselves out into our plank. We can rest in down dog or hover. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Curling our toes. Joining our friends in down dog. And in our down dog, let's bring our feet as wide as our mat. We'll look to our hands. We'll slide our left thumb until it connects with our right. Then slide the left hand towards our feet. Pause when our fingertips are in line with the base of our right hand. We'll come up onto our tippy toes. We'll take a deep bend in our knees. We'll transition that right hand to the outside of our left leg, anywhere but our knee. Inhale, we start to straighten our left leg, rotating our heart to the side wall, stretching through our side body, straightening our neck. Exhale, deep bend in our knees. Right hand replaces our left. Left hand to the outside of our right leg. Inhale, we begin to straighten our right leg, rotating our rib cage towards that side wall. Left knee stays bent. Exhale, deep bend in our knees. We'll allow our heels to touch. We'll walk our hands back, finding a little froggy position at the back of our mats. We can stay here, long spine. Perhaps we slide our right arm in front of our leg, opening our hip. Perhaps we extend that left arm back. Maybe a half bind. Maybe a full bind. Perhaps coming up onto our right tippy toes, pivoting the left foot towards midline, and balancing on that left leg in a bound bird of paradise. Finding where your body would like to be. 3 more breaths. 2, 1. Gently making your way down. If you're in the bound bird of paradise, we'll all come back to where we began. You can stay here for the second side. Or slide our left arm in front. Maybe extend the right. Maybe the half bind. Maybe full bind. Or perhaps bird of paradise on the second side. Finding if bound bird of paradise feels right on either side today. 3 more breaths. 2, 1. Bound birds of paradise gracefully come down. We'll all meet back where we began. Hands under our shoulders. We'll lift our glutes 3/4, bring our feet back to hip distance, and we'll walk ourselves out into our plank. We can rest in down dog or pivot onto our tiptoes. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, curling our toes. Joining our friends in down dog. We can stay here or lift our right leg high. Maybe come up onto the ball of our left foot. Perhaps with an exhale, we draw our right knee to our left elbow. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, right leg high. Let's look to our hands and we'll step our right foot forward into our lunge. Pivot the left out 45 heel to heel. Prepare for warrior 1. Hands to prayer by right big toe. Inhale, our legs are strong. Exhale, we float up. Shoulders stack over our hips. Arm shoulder width, interlace our cactus. Let's find a spot to look at on the wall in front of us. Sliding our gaze from that spot to the ceiling. Finding our back bend. Hot air balloon lifts our heart to the sky, and anchor draws our sacrum to the ground. We hold a quarter between our shoulder blades. We're here for 3 more breaths. 2, 1. Inhale, traditional warrior 1. Exhale, we'll open to our warrior 2, palms up. Inhale, right arm slides forward a little. Exhaling into our reverse warrior with or without our bind. Lifting and lowering our toes, anchoring from our waist down. Finding the stretch from our right hip to our shoulder, left hip to our heel. Lengthen our side body, 1 more breath. Inhale, back into our warrior 2, hands to our hips, we'll straighten our right leg. Let's lift our right toes and walk a half step towards the side wall, creating heel to arch alignment, preparing for triangle. We lengthen from right big toe to hip, draw down left hip to our heel. Just try to bring our pelvis closer to parallel to the floor. We'll extend our arms parallel to the floor. Inhale, our right arm reaches forward. And when we can't reach anymore, the right hand descends. Our left hand slides our right rib to our thigh, stacking the left rib on top. We extend our left arm to the sky. With an inhale, we'll look to our right shoulder, lift and lower toes. With an exhale, we'll turn our chin on its axis to look to the left hand. If the left hand is behind the seam in our shirt, we can bring the heel of our hand to our sacrum or to our hip. If we're overly flexible, we want to find that bound position so we can stack our shoulders and not hyperextend the left. If we want more from the right hamstring, we lift and lower our toes. If we want more from that left IT band, we lift and lower our toes. 2 more breaths. 1. If we're bound, we'll unbind. Inhale, left arm lifts high. Keeping the length of our torso, with an exhale, we allow our left hand to either rest under our shoulder, replace our right hand, or rest on the outside edge of our foot for a twisted triangle. Right hand on our right hip to steady our pelvis. Inhale, our spine elongates. Exhale, our left shoulder will subtly descend. Our right shoulder will subtly lift. Keep your hips steady. We may wish to high five the side wall. 3 more breaths. 2, 1. Exhale, deep bend in our knees, hands under our shoulders. We'll step back into our plank. We can rest in down dog or hover. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, curling our toes. Joining our friends in down dog. We can stay here or lift our left leg high. Maybe come up onto the ball of our right foot. Perhaps with an exhale, draw our left knee to our right elbow for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, left leg high. Let's look to our hands and we'll step our left foot forward into our lunge period with the right up 45, heel to heel. Hands to prayer by our left big toe. Inhale, our legs are strong. Exhale, we float up, shoulder stack over hips, navel draws to our spine. Finding the arm position that's best for us in our warrior 1 this time. Finding that spot to look at on the wall, looking past that line, through the ceiling, creating that back bend. Hot air balloon lifting our heart as our shoulders melt down our back. Strength from our waist down, flexibility from our waist up for 2 more breaths. 1. Inhale, traditional warrior 1. Exhale, we'll open our right hip into our warrior 2, palms up. Inhale, left arm slides forward a little. Exhaling into our reverse warrior with or without our bind. Externally rotating our hips. Finding the strength from our waist down to create the flexibility from our waist up. 2 more breaths. 1. Inhale, back into our warrior 2. Hands to our hips, we'll straighten our legs. We'll lift our left toes and walk a half step towards the side wall, creating heel to arch alignment. Lengthening from left big toe to hip, drawing down right hip to heel to bring our pelvis close to parallel again. We'll extend our arms. Inhale, let's stretch our left arm as far forward as our body says we should. Then our left hand descends. Our right hand slides our left ribs to our thighs, stacking the right rib on top. And then we reach our right arm to the sky. With an inhale, we'll look to our left shoulder, lift and lower our toes. Exhale, we'll turn our chin to look to the right shoulder. Maybe the half bind. Perhaps lifting and lowering our toes, maybe extending 1 or both arms forward as if we're holding onto a beach ball. Dynamic limbs are weightless limbs. 3 more breaths. 2, 1. Undoing any bind we have. Inhale, our right arm reaches high to the sky. With an exhale, we keep the length in our torso. Right hand rests under our shoulder, perhaps replaces the left or reaches for the outside edge of our foot. Inhale, we extend our torso. Exhale, the right shoulder will subtly lower, the left shoulder will lift. Maybe we high five in our twisted triangle. 3 more breaths, keeping our hips steady, finding the rotation from our navel to our heart. 2, 1. Exhale, our knees bend, our hands rest under our shoulders. We'll step back into our plank. We can rest in down dog or hover. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, curling our toes. Joining our friends in down dog. And in our down dog, we'll surrender our knees under our hips. Let's pivot onto our left hip, keeping our left knee aiming forward. We'll cross that right leg over our left. Strong right foot as if we were standing on it. We'll give our right knee a hug. Right hand by our tailbone. Inhale, right foot and right hand are strong. We lengthen our spine. Exhale, we turn our belly, our heart, and our gaze. Keep the hug to stretch the glute or bend the elbow to stretch that thoracic spine, figuring out what's right for you. 3 more breaths. 2, 1. Exhale, uncoiling, counter twist. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, we rotate. Inhale, back to center. Let's uncoil. And re-pretzel our body. Right knee aiming forward. Left foot strong. Give our right elbow a chance to hug that left knee in towards our chest. Left hand behind us. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, we turn our belly, our heart, and our gaze. We can keep the hug or bend the elbow. Inhale, elongating our spine, creating space. Exhale, see where the space will allow us to go. 2 more breaths. 1. Inhaling and coiling. Finding our counter twist. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, we rotate. We'll gently uncoil. We'll scooch more to the front of our mats than not. We'll allow our heels to touch, our toes to lift. We'll extend our arms forward. Imagine someone was in front of us holding onto a rope, gently giving us some slack, muscularly rolling down to the ground, initiating the movement from our tailbone 1 vertebra at a time, lengthening the crown of our head away from our sacrum. And when we do connect with the mat, we'll tuck our knees into our chest. We'll extend our arms out like the letter T. Inhale, knees tuck in. Exhale, knees draw up and over to our left elbow, left hand to our right leg. And we gently turn our closed eyes to our right hand. We can stay here. Or perhaps we extend our legs fully. Left hand and toes try to connect. Finding each inhalation filling our lungs, and each exhalation our navel and our ribcage rotating towards the mat. 2 more breaths. 1. We'll all bend our knees, release any bind we have. We use our core strength. We'll bring ourselves to center. Keeping our eyes closed, we'll hold behind our thighs. Let our shins be free. We'll point, we'll flex, we'll rotate, we'll wiggle, and we'll pause. Take a deep breath in. And as we exhale, we'll curl our head, neck, and shoulders to our knees, finding a nice little ball with our bodies. And then our torso will descend. We'll extend our arms out from our shoulders. Inhale, our knees tuck into our heart again. Exhale, up and over to our right elbow. Our right elbow bends, our right hand rests on our left thigh, and our closed eyes aim in the direction of our left hand. Inhale, we fill our left lung with air. Exhale, we rotate our rib cage and our navel towards the mat. Keep our knees bent or fully extend. Deciding what's right on the second side. Each inhale fills our lung. Each exhale, we rotate our rib cage and navel towards the mat. Trying to expand our lung capacity for 3 more breaths. 2. We'll use our core strength. We'll soften our knees. We'll bring ourselves back to center. 1 at a time, we'll extend our legs forward. One at a time, we'll reach our hands back. We'll interlace our thumbs and reach our fingers and toes away from the midline. And with an exhale, we'll let it all go, sliding our hands along the floor, resting palms up about 8 inches from our side body, and sliding our legs out to be about that distance apart, heels in, toes out. Resting in Shavasana. With this external rotation, we're choosing an internal rotation with a knock knee position and a hand to the heart and a hand to the belly. From wherever you're choosing to be, keep your eyes closed. With the closed eyes, on an inhale, look up to the forehead. Exhale to center. Inhale down to the jaw. Exhale to center. Inhale towards the right ear. Exhale to center. Inhale to the left ear. Exhale to center. Moving the eyes to the compass points in darkness and very slowly. Helps release any fatigue from the eyes, from looking at our computers, devices, perhaps a little bit more than we normally do. With our next exhale, let's tuck only our right thigh into our chest. We hold behind the thigh. We find a thigh to chest connection to stretch our lower back. Then we'll extend the right and draw on the left. Once again, finding a forward fold, stretching our lower back. Then we'll draw both legs in. And we'll start to rock right to left. Eventually rocking onto our right hand side in a supported fetal position. Opening and shutting our eyes, preparing ourselves for the rest of our day. We'll press our left hand into the floor and then our right, making sure our head's the last thing that comes up. As we come back into our simple cross leg, lotus, half lotus, or virasana hero's pose. We'll roll our shoulders to our ears and down our back. We'll close our eyes as we turn our palms to face the sky. Let's imagine there's a golf ball on our right shoulder. Our right ear will lift up and over that golf ball, and our left fingers come with a feather-like touch. Breathing and swallowing. Lengthening and opening. With an inhale, our chin comes to parallel. The left hand descends. The golf ball is resting on our left shoulder. Our left ear lifts up and over. Right fingers with a feather-like touch. Breathing and swallowing. Lengthening and opening. Inhale, our chin back to parallel. Right hand descends. We'll all lift our shoulders to our ears, roll them down our back, and as our shoulders extend to the wide edges of our mat, our chin becomes heavy, folding to our chest, letting the back of our neck lengthen through gravity. Let's meet with our hands at prayer of our heart, and namaste. And thank you for joining me today. Until we meet again, stay healthy, stay safe, and stay active.